Philadelphia, it's cold outside, and you are tuned in today to Music Talk. I'm your host, Brittney O'Rourke, and I want you guys to know the segment today is being brought to you, chilly outside, by the Publicity and Advertising Division of American Advertising Services. For absolutely free advertising help, give them a call. 484-562-0060 is the number that you should dial. Again, that's 484-562-0060. It's cold. No one wants to go outside and market and do all this stuff. Let them do it for you. 484-562-0060. You guys, I have a very nice treat for you today. I am here to introduce the one and only Mr. Bernie M. Resnick, Esquire, the attorney at law here in Philly. What's up, Bernie?
How you doing, Brittney? It's a pleasure to be here.
Great. I feel great. It's great to have you. You got a lot going on. You got a lot of nice talent that you're representing. We got a lot to go over today. And you guys, I'm excited to even bring him in and give you all that he's got, or at least a little bit. We don't have time to give you all of it, right?
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. Sounds good to me. So let's dig right in. What you got going on? Like, do you have any new acts that you're excited about right now that you're representing?
As a matter of fact, we do. We have lots of artists that are out there performing and currently working. We have Daniel Jones, who's the keyboard player in Justin Timberlake's band that just appeared here at the Wells Fargo Center
2020 experience.
Weekend before last, and they'll be back, I think, February 25th of 14. They're back in town, so
Encore.
If you don't have your tickets yet, time to line up and get them. We also are really proud to announce a successful new, I guess for the rest of the world, but not so new for us, artists called Time for Three. Time for Three are three classically trained musicians, two violins and a double bass, who all trained at the Curtis Institute of Music here in Philadelphia. It's one of the world's greatest classical conservatories, and they crank out top-level talent who play in major symphonies all the time.
Wow.
So Time for Three are these three young men who were students at Curtis and classmates, and while they were taking a break after going to symphony rehearsal, they thought, let's try to play some other music together just as a trio. And they found that they had a common interest not only in listening to the conductor's instruction or playing what was on the written classical music charts, but they liked to improvise as jazz musicians or bluegrass musicians would. And they had an interest in bluegrass, Americana, as well as classical. And they began to develop their own sound. That became a group called Time for Three. So not only do they have classical careers, they also have this side project, which is beginning to take over their lives.
Wow.
We're representing them. The group had an album out with an independent label a year or two ago, and now they have just signed a major label recording contract with Universal Music Classics.
Woohoo! Congratulations.
Thank you. They're in the studio now. They are working on what will be their major label debut, which will come out spring of 2014.
Okay.
It will feature guest performances by singer-songwriter Joshua Radin, by saxophonist Branford Marsalis, and other surprise guests that we are arranging right now as we speak.
Yes.
And I'd like to, if you don't mind, let's hear something from Time for Three from their initial album that came out a few years back. This is a song called Forget About It.
Yes.
Into rock and roll? Then visit Philadelphia's Hard Rock Cafe. Enjoy the huge menu and especially view the memorabilia. There's the legendary Jim Morrison jacket acquired from Danny Sugarman, manager of The Doors. Then see the guitar that John Mayall created. He played with Eric Clapton. Elton John's Uncle Sam costume. Shakira's leather pants. The list goes on. Memorabilia from Jimi Hendrix and Joan Jett. Come in for lunch or dinner or enjoy a cocktail at the Hard Rock Cafe Bar. The Hard Rock Cafe, 12th and Market Streets in Philadelphia. It's an experience. Also hosting corporate events, social gatherings, bar and bat mitzvahs. Hard Rock Cafe is COOL cool. 12th and Market Street, 215-238-0639, 215-238-0639, 12th and Market Street in Philadelphia.
We're a Philadelphia advertising agency, American Advertising Services, and our job is to create solutions for your business problems. Do you want more customers, more sales for your products or business services? American Advertising has helped many, many area companies, large ones, small ones, family-owned firms just like yours. If you are in business and serious, make American Advertising your advertising agency. Per job assignments welcomed. American Advertising Services. We are serious about helping your business.
American Advertising Services is located at 29 Bala Avenue, Bala Cynwyd, PA 19004. 29 Bala Avenue, Bala Cynwyd, PA 19004. You can call them at 484-562-0060, 484-562-0060, 484-562-0060. It's new, a grand music venue in the heart of the main line. Now open. See the schedule of performances at www.ardmoremusichall.com. The venue is located at the legendary 23 East Lancaster Avenue address in Ardmore, once known for its musical talent. Free parking nearby. For full information and tickets, see their webpage at ardmoremusichall.com. That's ardmoremusichall.com or call 610-649-8389, 610-649-8389. That webpage again, ardmoremusichall.com.
And we're back. This is Brittney O'Rourke, and you are tuned in to Music Talk. Today, I stand beside a very honorable man, Mr. Bernie Resnick, and he is holding it down in the entertainment industry. You guys, he's an entertainment attorney, practiced here in Philly, born and raised.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. There's no other place I'd rather be than Philadelphia. This is heaven on earth.
I love it.
And I could live anywhere. I've been invited to go join firms and go audition and try out for jobs in New York or Los Angeles, but I wouldn't live in those places for all the tea in China when I could live right here in Philadelphia, which is the best place in the world.
He's proud, you guys, and you should be proud for him as well. Mr. Resnick, you've earned over 100 gold, platinum, multi-platinum, Billboard #1, Spin Awards. You've negotiated deals, you've done so much. It's crazy. How long have you been in the business?
I've been an entertainment lawyer since the Pleistocene era. Actually, in the mid-1980s is when I graduated from Villanova Law School. And I'm a musician that went to law school. So It was just natural for me to meet other people who were songwriters and musicians and recording studio folks and radio DJs. And before I knew it, I had a whole waiting room filled with clients that are young and talented. And I view my job as a simple one. My job is to help a talented person. It doesn't matter whether they throw a ball through a hoop or they sing a song or they spin the knobs in a recording studio. If your job is that you have talent, my role is to guide you through the dangerous oceans that are the entertainment business and get you to the other side of the ocean with your wallet intact. So I help talented people. And for many talented people, they're not comfortable meeting with a lawyer.
Yeah.
They don't like to go to a lawyer's office. It's intimidating and it's new territory for them. But seeing as that I'm a musician and I really think like a musician, then people who tend to be a little more comfortable in my office than in other lawyers' offices. You know, being a lawyer is what I do, but being a musician is what I am.
That's it.
And so that I think comes across when I meet people, and I try to make them feel comfortable. And even if the legal problem they have may not be an entertainment law problem. It could be a divorce or an estate matter or forming a corporation or a partnership or a minor traffic accident. I might not handle that personally for them, but they'll bring the problem to me, and then I will find another lawyer that I can rely on to refer them to and make sure they're comfortable with this new attorney to help them in that case. Right. So for a lot of folks who are in the business, they're comfortable with our firm, and then we act as their guide through this dangerous thicket of legal problems.
Yeah,
and we just try to make it easy for people to accomplish their goals. And there's nothing embarrassing or wrong about getting paid to do what you love.
Absolutely.
You shouldn't be afraid to get paid. And so I try to help people realize their dreams of entertaining and creating, and at the same time make a living doing it. And that's really how we see our role.
That's awesome. I really like what you said. You said, I am an attorney, but you said, law is what I do.
So being an attorney is what I do, but being a musician is what I am.
Oh, that was big for me. What do you play?
I'm a double bass player. I play principal bass in the Mainline Symphony for the last 20-some years.
Wow.
And I play rock and I play jazz as well, but I'm classically trained, and that's where the beginning of my music knowledge and career comes from, classical training. Although I do write pop tunes and rap tunes, I'm a little bit old and gray to play that myself, so I usually give them to my clients and hope that they'll take them and put them on their albums.
Do they do it?
Occasionally, yeah.
Really?
Every once in a while, sure.
Oh, so you're pretty good then.
No, I think the clients are good. They make it a lot better. I give them raw ideas and they polish them and make them actually commercially viable.
That's huge.
Yeah.
You've had some really big acts that you have represented.
That's
you want to
correct.
go through a couple of your clientele?
Well, we've worked with everybody from gospel to rap to classical to rock and everything in between. It's not so much about name dropping; it's so much that those people, whether they're famous or you've never heard of them, they have the same legal needs.
Absolutely.
And I try to treat everybody the same, whether it's a big star like a Bun B or a UGK or a Timbaland or anyone in that world, or it's someone that you've never heard of.
Right.
They all get the same treatment from me.
That's big.
I treat them fairly, and I tease them just like I tease someone you've never heard of. And at the bottom, the bottom line here, the bare essence of this is that successful, famous celebrities get dressed the same way you do, Brittney.
They sure do.
They put the trousers on one leg at a time. They have the same basic needs that everyone needs, which is, they need to eat, they need to drink, they need artistic verification, and they need to know that what they do means something.
Right.
And so I try to help those people achieve that.
Absolutely.
And I don't treat anyone differently because they've had a lot of success in the past.
Right. That's good.
They come to me with the same needs, and I'll treat them with the same respect that I'll show someone who's never sold a record.
True. Now, they do have some have different situations than others, especially the bigger ones. Like right now, I know that Kanye is dealing with the paparazzi. I think they're either trying to sue him or something. How do you deal with that? What do you think of that? Artists that are dealing with the harassment of paparazzi. Like, literally, we're having to go to court for this.
Yeah, I think that there's a fine line. When an artist is beginning, he or she wants to become famous and craves the acknowledgement and craves the notoriety. And they'll do anything possible to get their face and their name and their voice into the public eye and ear. But that has a boomerang effect, because sometimes you can become popular and realize those dreams and suddenly come to the realization that that's not exactly all it's cracked up to be, because your privacy is gone.
Right.
I kind of personally like being able to go to a restaurant and the only time anybody wants my autograph is when it's time to pay the bill.
That's it.
Sign the credit card slip. But, for people who are massively successful, they have to understand that once you inject yourself into the world of celebrity, you have to deal with the consequences. And for someone like, for example, a Kanye West, who seems to have a short fuse and a bit of a temper, that's someone I think that really needs some coaching about how to go about your daily life and to be able to do the things that everyone else does without losing your temper or getting in trouble while you're doing it. And that takes a lot of just years of experience, growth, and maturity to happen.
Oh, yeah.
Some are naturally better than others at it, and others need some training. And it is difficult, though, because paparazzi can become intrusive.
Absolutely.
Especially in today's world of the 24-hour news cycle and today's world of the long lens and the immediacy of the internet.
Yes, it's crazy.
Very difficult to maintain privacy and to maintain a private life. And I think that if you do it in a way that is respectful of the photographers and the reporters who are trying to simply make a living reporting on the celebrity's whereabouts and what that celebrity's doing, if you treat them in a respectful way and set some boundaries,
Right.
I believe they'll respect you as well.
Totally agree with that.
But setting boundaries that you don't intend to maintain, that can backfire.
Oh, it can. It definitely can. A lot of people have to do a lot of their marketing social media wise. You're having to do the Twitter, you have to do Facebook, Instagram, all of these different things. Now, you personally said, I'm not into all that. I'm not doing it. That's for them. However, you, as an artist, you have to be careful, like what you put on Twitter and what you tweet about and what you put in your status and the pictures that you put out of yourself. Do you have anything to do with that when you represent your clients? Do you ever have a situation where you're like, whoa, do not tweet that? Are there some just absolute no-nos that you go over with them?
Yeah, that's true. Brittney, you're right. I'm a little old and gray to be in the milieu of social networking and Pinterest and Instagram myself, but that doesn't mean I don't pay attention to it and realize its importance. We represent a gentleman who's from West Philadelphia, who is a manager, and his name is Troy Carter, and he came to me 6 years ago this month, November 2007, with an artist that he wanted to manage, and no one had ever heard of her. She couldn't have sold out my car.
Okay.
I mean, no one had ever heard of this person. She's just a good songwriter with a great artistic vision, and that was Lady Gaga.
Okay.
So we drafted her management contract, and with a lot of hard work on the record company's part, on Troy's part, and on Gaga's part, she became one of the most successful artists in the world. What she did was build her fan base one at a time by relentlessly participating in social media. And she built the world's largest database of fans, one fan at a time, by doing all of the tweeting and the social networking that you're talking about. It can backfire.
Yeah.
One needs to be careful when you're doing that kind of thing to keep the fans engaged, not give them too much of your personal life.
Right.
So you lose all privacy. But on the other hand, give them enough to realize it's genuine, it's coming from the artist, and it's not coming from someone the artist paid to create those tweets, all at the same time with the goal in mind to make the fan experience something that they want to be a part of the artist's career. And when you do that successfully, you don't get a customer, you get a fan for life.
There you go.
And I think that the Gaga experience shows us that her fans are legion, and her fans are very much dedicated to being her cheerleaders.
Absolutely.
And that's very, very important to have that support from your fans, because it allows you the artistic freedom to take some chances in this world.
It's very true. We've got to take a really short break, but we'll be right back after these messages.
Are you having a holiday get-together or celebration? Music can make your event. Call Music at 484-562-0067. Allow them to provide the music, a DJ, a band. Musicians are individuals, choir, or gospel. Call Music at 484-562-0067. Again, that's 484-562-0067.
The major holidays are almost upon us. Thanksgiving, Christmas, Hanukkah, and New Year's. Are you prepared for your holiday party events and other needs? Call Whims for Rent. They are a professional event planning company and can package your entire business or personal holiday event, or simply provide specific needs. They provide entertainment such as DJs or three-piece bands, Christmas carol choirs, or even Santa Claus. Other entertainment possibilities include walk-around magicians, fortune tellers, or look-alike celebrities. They aid large corporate events, smaller business attractions, and family affairs. Just tell them your goals. For a free consultation and free ideas, contact Whims for Rent at 484-562-0067. Again, that's 484-562-0067. They are located at 29 Bala Ave in Bala Cynwyd, Pennsylvania, or visit them on the web at www.phillybizmedia.com.
The internet today is a must for businesses and organizations to represent themselves. A must. For the generations of business owners who did not have the advantage of an internet education beginning in grade school, there is basic help. Call American Advertising Services at 484-562-0060. Our organization of marketing personnel, traditional and IT, will set up basic internet advertising aids for your business or organization at a modest fee. Basics. No big deals, no big costs, just basics. Plus a free get-to-know-your-goals meeting. Call American Advertising Services at 484-562-0060. That's 484-562-0060. Be with it, or else you will be out of it. Again, call American Advertising Services at 484-562-0060.
Need a speaker for your business meeting, organization, social group? Need a speaker who is entertaining, informative, or both? Need a speaker who is an authority on a subject close to your interests? We provide them. We are this region's Speakers Bureau. Call us at 484-562-0067. 484-562-0067.
Here we go. We're back. Music Talk. And this is Brittney O'Rourke. And I'm here with Bernie Resnick.
Hello.
And he's the man. He's telling us all these great things about the business, all the not so great things about the business, and everything that you need to know to learn about being a successful musician, artist, right moves to make, wrong moves to make. Don't make the wrong moves, right?
Yeah, the first thing I can tell you, I think it's really important for any young artist, musician, songwriter, record producer, anyone who wants to go into the entertainment industry in the USA, please, if someone asks you to sign a document, if you don't understand it, please don't sign it. It doesn't mean that you won't sign it eventually. Take it to someone who can explain what it means.
Yeah.
Just like you wouldn't buy your house unless you had it inspected first to make sure the roof didn't leak. Same thing can be said of any contract. You know, people might say, "Oh, it's just an agreement; it's not a contract." In the law, there's no difference.
Wow!
It's just the beginning. We're just getting started. It's just the deal memo. It's not really the contract. If there's no contract eventually, that is your
deal. Serves as
That's
contract.
The contract. So please don't sign anything, because if you sign something and then take it to a lawyer to review, you turn the lawyer basically into the person at the circus who walks behind the elephant with the bucket and the shovel cleaning up the mess.
Yeah.
And it doesn't smell very good. So we can do a lot more for someone before they sign. Afterwards, there's not very much that we can do except try to undo what's done, and that requires cooperation on the other side's part.
Absolutely.
So I would say first and foremost, if you don't understand something, don't sign it. And then second, if you don't understand something, take it to a lawyer, an accountant, a business manager, someone more experienced than you who does what you do, just to make sure you know what you're getting into. Because believe me, I could write a contract on the back of a cocktail napkin that can ruin your career.
Right.
And so just try to make sure that you can avoid one of those major pitfalls. And that's pitfall number one.
That's awesome.
I think number two is that you should commit yourself to being a lifelong learner.
Oh, yes. Oh, that's good.
I've been a lawyer for 27 years, but I still go to regular continuing legal education classes.
Absolutely.
I still read lots and lots of trade journals. I still constantly try to stay abreast and on top of developments in the law and in the entertainment business, because this business moves so fast that unless you pay attention to what's happening today, you will become yesterday.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And so you have to commit to doing that, to learn not just what it takes to graduate from college or music school. You have to commit to learning for the rest of your life.
What are the benefits of being a part of organizations like the Grammy Recording Academy?
The Recording Academy is really important because not only do they hand out awards, which is the public part that everyone knows about, the Recording Academy gives these kinds of discussions and seminars amongst the successful producers and engineers, legal education seminars. We just did one for the classical music students in conservatories here in Philadelphia earlier this week at the Kimmel Center.
Awesome.
We give those kinds of talks to people, and that's just one of many organizations in the region where you might go to avail yourself of this kind of instruction and learning. The Grammy organization also has a charity called Music Cares.
Oh, wow.
What that does is that helps people who are musicians who are negatively affected by world or life events. So, for example, last year, about a year ago, we had a terrible storm called Sandy, devastated the coast of northern New Jersey and Long Island in New York.
Yeah.
And many people who live along that coast are musicians. They ended up losing their instruments to storm damage.
Yeah.
So what Music Cares would do is they would not just give these musicians some money, they would give them money to buy a new saxophone so you can go out and make a living.
There you go.
The old phrase, if you give a man a fish, he'll eat today, but if you teach him how to fish, he'll eat forever.
There you go.
Music Cares teaches people how to fish
and
by
provides opportunity.
Giving them the opportunity to succeed. And that's part of the Grammy organization. They also have an advocacy program where members of the Recording Academy go to Washington, D.C. to meet with congressmen and senators to help persuade them to pass new laws that will be helpful to musicians and songwriters and producers and engineers and creators in the business.
Wow.
So, for example, just this past year, a new law was passed to standardize the regulations of carrying musical instruments on airplanes.
Wow.
Before, different airlines would be able to say, you can take your cello onto the plane, but you can't take your guitar. It has to go underneath. And then the gorillas, who are the baggage handlers, might throw it around and wreck your livelihood, wreck your instrument, your axe.
Right.
Now, because of the Grammy efforts and because of the Recording Academy's advocacy in Washington, Congress passed a law standardizing what all airlines must do for all musicians who wish to bring their instruments on planes. So you don't have to worry about inconsistent regulations between one airline and the other. That's the kind of thing that the Grammy organization does, and that's why I strongly advocate that people get involved in the Philadelphia chapter.
That's a big deal.
And if you join quickly, you can come to our holiday party, which is coming up in just 2 weeks.
Plug. That's awesome. You said something that I really admired earlier in the day. You said you're really particular about who you represent. And I said, well, is it someone you just have to naturally get along with? Is it someone that's already in the business and doing well? Like, how do you determine that? And you went for it, and I admired it so much.
Well, Brittney, it's a very good question. You know, we at our firm, just one small law firm in Philadelphia, where my wife, Sally Mattis, and I are the two lawyers.
Hi, Sally.
We have many, many people who wish to retain our services. Every day we get inquiries. There's only so many hours in the day, and we can't take on everyone who would like us to represent them. Also, we think it's important that it's not just that people understand it's not just about whether we like their music personally.
Right.
Because a lot of times people send me music and I love it. And I tell them, I'm sorry, I can't represent you. That's because you're not hiring me to be a fan. You're hiring me to help you make a living in the business. And if I don't think I have the contacts and the knowledge that will help you succeed financially, I'll say no thank you to representing you. And I'll just pay for tickets and come to your concerts and be a fan. So, understand that when you're hiring a lawyer or a manager or an agent or a professional advisor in the business, you're doing so for the right reasons. Your brother-in-law may be a great fan, but not necessarily knowledgeable and skilled enough to help get you gigs across the country.
Absolutely.
Then it's time to go to a professional booking agent. So we try to apply the same kind of knowledge and the same activity in how we select our clientele. And it's great when we like their music. It's great when they're also our friends. But more importantly, we want to be able to help them professionally.
That's huge. That's a big deal. I really like it. And the really cool thing is that even when you're not able to help them, you've been in the business for so long, you know someone that can.
Yes, and that's true. If we don't have the ability to take them on at our firm, we may be able to refer them to another that might be an expert.
That's awesome. So before we have to get out of here, we've got time for 3. Big deal, you guys. Listen up. We're fans already. They brought some of their music out. Bernie is representing them and has been friends of theirs for how long? 8, 9 years?
Yes, a long time. And coming soon on Universal Music Classics, you'll hear new music from Time for 3. This is a piece called Wyoming 307, written by Renan Meyer, the bass player. Mostly it's called 307 because that's the area code in Wyoming where he wrote the piece.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Philly. Just so you'll know, this segment today has been brought to you by the Advertising and Publicity Division of American Advertising Services. For absolutely free advertising help, give them a call at 484-562-0060. You guys help me thank Bernie Resnick for coming in and dropping knowledge on this beautiful mic of ours today.
It's been my pleasure.
Awesome.
Thanks for having me.
Tune in next week.